Alright, so today we move into something else. So today we shall be looking at how to find the equation of a circle where the diameter is given. So given the circle below with the diameter, we can see that the diameter forms a semicircle, of which the angle in the semicircle is a right angle. Alright, let's take a look at how this works. So this is a circle that I've actually drawn. So this circle has a center. The center, it has the coordinates AB. Then I can draw a line through the center from one side to the other, and that line represents the diameter. Then one point of the diameter shall be point A and the other point shall be point B. So what happens is if there is another point P and I draw lines from point A and point B towards point P, this is what I will actually have. And then what will happen is the angle right there at P shall actually be equal to 90 degrees, or it shall be equal to a right angle. So this is what usually happens. So the diameter divided the circle into two semicircles, and then if we draw a line from both of the points A and B towards any other point P, we shall actually form an angle of 90 degrees. So what does that mean? It means that point PXY is the general point on the circle. So the lines AP and BP are perpendicular to each other. And if the lines AP and B are perpendicular to each other, it means that the gradient of AP times the gradient of BP shall be equal to -1. So what that means is this. So now remember, when you're calculating the gradient AP, we find it from the formula y minus y1, of which we shall get the coordinate here minus the y1 here. Then we shall have this x minus x1. So that's how we get the gradient of AP. Then to get the gradient of BP, it shall be equal to y minus y2 and over x minus x2, all being equal to -1. Then obviously the next case is we'll cross multiply, and when we cross multiply, this is what we actually have. So from this point, we can find the Cartesian equation of the circle. Alright, let's look at some examples. So question 1. The points A4, 8, 4 and 2, 2 at the ends of the diameter of a circle. Find the coordinates of the center and radius and find the equation of the circle. So in such a case, I encourage you to first sketch. So we've sketched it. So this is the center. So the center is CAB, and then that is the diameter passing through the center. Then one point A shall be 8, 4, the other point B shall be 2, 2. Then we shall have a point PXY, of which all these points shall be joining to, and we have a right angle there. So now we shall have to remember the gradient of AP times the gradient of BP shall be equal to -1. So what shall we have now? We shall have y minus 4. For the gradient of AP, we shall have y minus 4 divided by x minus 8 times the gradient of BP shall be y minus 2 over x minus 2, all being equal to -1. So when I cross multiply, this is what I actually have. So next, when I expand, I'll have x squared minus 2x minus 8x plus 16 on the left hand side, of course with that negative on the outside. Then the right hand side, when I multiply y minus 4 times y minus 2, I'll have y squared minus 2y minus 4y plus 8. So next I can say this negative can go inside, and then I'll have negative x squared plus 2x plus 8x minus 16. And then next, when I simplify further, I'll have negative x squared plus 10x minus 16 being equal to y squared minus 6y plus 8. So next, when I bring all the values on the right hand side of the equal sign to the left hand side, this is what I'll have. I'll have x squared plus y squared minus 10x minus 6y plus 24 is equal to 0. So therefore, the Cartesian equation of the circle is x squared plus y squared minus 10x minus 6y plus 24 is equal to 0. Now they are told us to find the coordinates of the center and radius also. So that means we'll have to first find those also. So how do we find those? We're going to compare with the general Cartesian equation of a circle. So this is the Cartesian equation of a circle. So when you compare it with this, I can see that 2g shall be equal to -10, of which g shall be equal to -5. Then you can say that 2f is equal to -6, of which f shall be equal to -3. And then you can see that c is positive 24. So what that means is center of the circle, which is given as -g, -f shall be 5, 3. That means the radius of the circle r, which is equal to root of g squared plus f squared minus c, shall be negative 5 squared plus negative 3 squared minus 24, which shall give me root of 25 plus 9 minus 24, which is the same as root of 10 units, and that shall be the radius of the circle. So therefore, the center of the circle is 5, 3, and the radius is root of 10 units, and those are the answers that they wanted. Question 2. Given the points A, negative 1, 5, and B, 5, negative 2 at the ends of the diameter of a circle, find the coordinates of the center and radius and find the equation of the circle. So this is quite similar to what we've just done before. So this is the center point, and then we can see that the diameter passes through the center. So the ends of the diameter are A and B. Then they connect to a certain point P that is unknown, and that is a right angle right there. Now you can also see again that the gradient of AP shall be times the gradient of BP shall be equal to negative 1, of which this is what we'll have. Then when I multiply those and cross multiply, I'll have negative times x plus 1 x minus 5 is equal to y minus 5 into y plus 2. So when I expand this, I'll have x squared minus 5x plus x minus 5 is equal to y squared plus 2y minus 5y minus 10. So simplify this further. So next I can say that negative goes into the brackets on the left hand side. So I'll have negative x squared plus 5x minus x plus 5 is equal to y squared plus 2y minus 5y minus 10. Simplify them further and we'll have negative x squared plus 4x plus 5 is equal to y squared minus 3y minus 10. Alright, so next when I rearrange this by taking these values here to the other side of the right hand side, I'll have x squared plus y squared minus 4x minus 3y minus 15 is equal to 0. So therefore the Cartesian equation of the circle is x squared plus y squared minus 4x minus 3y minus 15 is equal to 0. So next we are being told to find the coordinates of the center and radius of the circle. So we're going to compare with the general Cartesian equation of a circle. So where we'll see that 2g shall be equal to negative 4, of which g shall be negative 2. And you can say 2f shall be equal to negative 3. So that means that f is equal to negative 3 over 2. So that means that, okay, before that, c is also negative 15. So that means that the center of the circle, which is negative g, negative f shall be 2, 3 over 2. That means that the radius of the circle r shall be root of g squared plus f squared minus c shall now be this. As you can see, because the c is already negative, it means that this shall become a plus. That's why we have plus 15 right there. Then our answer shall be root of 85 over 4, which shall be root of 85 over 2 units. And that is the value of the radius of the circle. So therefore the center of the circle is 2, 3 over 2, and the radius is root of 85 over 2 units, and those are the answers. Question 3. Find the equation of the diameter of a circle x squared plus y squared minus 6x plus 2y is equal to 15, which when produced passes through the point 8, negative 2. So in this case, we've already been given the equation of the circle in Cartesian form, and we've been told the point that it passes through. So it passes through a certain point, but we don't know the equation of the diameter of the circle, and that's what they're asking for. Let's first sketch this. So that is the diameter. Then the center is AB. Then as you can see, the equation of the diameter, now we've been told that it passes through a certain point, 8, negative 2. So that means we know one of the points that it passes through, but we don't know the other point. And as you can see, when these join together, they actually can join together at point P, which have a right angle there. So what do we do in this case? So first of all, we can remember the center of the circle is also on the diameter line. So we're going to take advantage of that knowledge. So now, first of all, the first step shall be to find that coordinates of the center of the circle. And since we already know the point B, we shall use that knowledge together and we shall find the equation of this line, which shall be the, of course, the equation of this line shall eventually be the equation of the diameter. So now let's compare with the Cartesian equation of a circle. So next we can see that 2g shall be equal to negative 6, of which g shall be equal to negative 3. 2f shall be equal to 2, of which f shall be equal to 1. That means that the center of the circle, which is negative g comma negative f, shall be 3 comma negative 1. So now that we know the coordinates of the center, we can now first find the gradient of this line. So the gradient of this line shall be very important. So how are we going to do that? We're going to use the knowledge. Since we know b and we now know the coordinates of the center, we can find the equation of this, the gradient of this line. Right, so therefore the gradient of the diameter line shall be m. M can be found from y2 minus b over x2 minus a, which shall be negative 2 minus negative 1 over 8 minus 3. So we can already see that here this will become a plus, but when we eventually solve all this together, we'll have m being equal to negative 1 over 5. So now to know the gradient of the diameter line is that, we can now find the equation of the diameter line. So since the center lies on the diameter line, this is how we shall find the equation. So we shall find the equation from y minus negative 1 over x minus 3, all being equal to negative 1 over 5. So we shall have 5y plus 5 being equal to negative x plus 3. So eventually when I solve this, I'll have it as y is equal to negative x over 5 minus 2 over 5. So therefore the equation of the diameter of the circle is y is equal to negative x over 5 minus 2 over 5, and that is the answer. Alright, so lastly I have an exercise for you. I encourage you to try out these 4 different numbers and then compare your answers to the answers you see in brackets here in brown color to make sure you're actually on the right track. And I believe that you would have perfected your knowledge of what we've covered in this section. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope the video really helped you. If it did, feel free to share the video with all your friends and help as many as you can. And then if you really like the video, feel free to give the video a like or a thumbs up, and then tell me in the comments if the video really helped you, and I'll try to get time and reply to your comments. And then if you're new to this channel, I encourage you to join the community by subscribing, and then make sure to hit the notification bell so that you get updated every single time I upload a new video. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next video.